What's up, everybody? Tom Pelissero here across the street from the Vikings Winter Park headquarters on an uncommonly quiet Wednesday. Only one satellite truck broadcasting outside, very few national reporters hovering around the scene. Finally, if only temporarily, the Vikings situation has stabilized, but another huge game looming on Sunday in Chicago. The one question that's been bandied about and is going to be talked about the most throughout the rest of this week: will the Vikings have Sidney Rice available for the first time in the season on Sunday against the Bears? Here's where things actually stand. A lot was made of Brad Childress today saying that Sidney Rice has been cleared. Well, being cleared doesn't mean anything. Childress said the same thing last week. What being cleared means is they allowed Rice to come back and practice. That happened a week ago. That's nothing new. Repeatedly since then, and especially today in his press conference, Brad Childress said it's up to Sidney Rice to determine when he's healthy and when he feels that he can protect himself on the football field. He's not going to play 60 or 70 snaps. He's going to come back in a limited role when he does come back. It could be 15, it could be 20, it could be 30 snaps. I would estimate it would probably be somewhere in there, at least initially. But then you have to look at one quote in particular from Childress I think explains exactly what this process is going to be about. He said at the minute he feels like he can play, he can play. Clearly, the Vikings medical staff has given him the clearance to return to practice. That happened a week ago. The coaching staff, and frankly, just from my untrained eye watching him in practice, he looks like he's ready to go. But ultimately, it comes down to a player who knows that he's coming up on a free agent season, knows that he's still only making $550,000 this season, knows that the Vikings still have 2 weeks for his roster exemption to continue before they have to activate him. That comes on November 24th. And also that if Sidney Rice goes out there and isn't comfortable playing or doesn't play like the Sidney Rice of 2009, he can only hurt his value as he comes into a very important season or off season going into free agency. Sidney did not speak today. He may speak tomorrow. Going back to what he said last week when he was asked, when will you know that you can protect yourself? He said, when I'm in great shape and I feel like I'm 100%. That sure sounds like a guy who's not going to chance it, not going to rush back. They still have 2 weeks here. Could it be on Sunday in Chicago? Sure, it's a natural surface down there, but it's one that has been torn up in the past, has given some guys some problems. All that's going to play into Sidney Rice's decision-making. Then you would get into the following week if he doesn't play against Green Bay, at home, at the Metrodome, on that surface. The following week, back on natural surface out in Washington. Sometime in this next 2 weeks, the Vikings have to make a move. I do expect that Sidney Rice is going to land back on the 53-man roster. Before all is said and done, they're not going to end up IRing him, but to say that it's a sure bet for this Sunday is anything but true. Of course, Percy Harvin also set out today with a migraine headache. We'll have to see if he comes back tomorrow. It always seems like there's something going on with that receiving core that played very well in Sunday's overtime win against Arizona. Back with more tomorrow. See you.